Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is Utterly Reading. So today I am going to start a vlog for this week that I am gonna basically be playing catch up with my library books. I have a little over 8 books checked out from the library right now, and I don't have any particular video planned for them because they're ones that I got that just sounded good before I started doing videos. So I thought I would just do a library catch up and try and read what I can so that way I can return those, but also making content as well. Here are the books that I'm going to, well, I know that I won't finish all of them, but I'm going to read as many as I can. So the first one that I have is obviously His and Hers by Feeney. This one I got for my September TBR for my library recommended. I am currently about 60 pages into this one. Don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on it yet. There is a girl that has been found murdered, or they believe that she's been murdered, and they don't know what happened. The perspectives are between a man and a woman who you don't realize at first, but they do have a connection, and I'm curious to see where it goes. So far, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of thoughts about it yet, but I would like to continue reading this so that way I can finish it up and get that marked off of my September TBR. The next book that I have to read is Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. I got this one because I've heard some really great things about it from other booktubers. It seemed like it would be something interesting. The way that it was described is that she, the main girl, when she is young, is out riding her bicycle and she falls through a hole and finds herself on a giant, like, robotic metal, like a giant metal hand. Kind of fun. I did start this one last night and I am up to 100 pages in it. I do really like it so far. It's definitely written in an interesting way. A lot of it is set up as interviews or like reports and things like that. So it's definitely written in a different kind of way than what I'm used to. But I am enjoying it a lot so far, and I'm really excited to continue on with this one and see what happens. I am really excited to continue in this one. Hopefully this one I will finish here in the next couple days. Like I said, it's a pretty quick read, and I'm really enjoying it. The next book that I have from the library is The Last Heir to Blackwood Library, and it's by Hester Fox. Another book that I would like to get to is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This is one that I have heard, especially Kayla from Books and Lala, talk about before, that she absolutely loved this book. The next book I am going to try and read this week is Mastering the Art of French Murder by Colleen Cambridge. The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. Another book that I am very excited to give a try is Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. The one by John Mars is going to be the week to try and catch up on some of these books. I will try to hold them up for you. Okay, so these are the books that I am going to try and make it through this week, as many as I can. Like I said, a couple of them I've already started. Most of them I have not, but I am really excited to get to. So I'm going to get started reading, probably keep reading either His and Hers or Sleeping Giants, and just see kind of where this week takes me and what books I can get finished in this next week. Okay, so it is now about 5 o'clock. This morning I read up to about 100 pages in Sleeping Giants, and I am really enjoying it. I'm really intrigued. They've started putting all the pieces together for this robot that they're trying to figure out what it is and what it's for. They're putting the pieces together. They have basically like the upper body of it put together. And the control system in the chest is basically like the helmets that you wear to control the upper part of the body have healing powers. So the woman who is the main pilot in this book, I can't remember her name right now, had an issue with her eyes, that she had like a torn retina. And when she put the helmet on, she got like a flash of searing pain and she collapsed. And come to find out, it had actually healed her eyes. And so there wasn't any problems with that anymore. So I am really intrigued and I'm very excited to keep reading. But I did end up reading a bit more in His and Hers. I am about 100 pages into this now, and it is, I'm really curious. It covers a lot of difficult topics, loss of a child, and parents that are beginning to have dementia, abusive parents. Her father was abusive of her mother. Things like that are starting to come up now that we're a little bit further into the story. Her mom is starting to get dementia, and she hadn't seen her mom in quite some time, and so she went to see her and got a pretty rude awakening that she seemed fine and everything was like everything was normal for the most part. And then all of a sudden her mom comes up with tea for the two of them, and she was gone. She couldn't remember who she was. She asked her, why are you, my daughter is only 15. Why are you in her room pretending to be her? So that is where I'm at with this right now. And then the man's perspective, it seems as though somebody is trying to frame him for the murder of the woman in the park or in the woods. So we don't really know a whole lot yet. But I am intrigued to keep reading, so I'm sitting here at the bus stop. I have probably about 20 minutes or so of a wait until my kids get here, and so I'm going to read some of this, and then hopefully tonight I will keep reading either this or Sleeping Giants. I don't know if I'll check in with you again today, but I will check in with you tomorrow morning. I have a bunch to do, but hopefully I'll get some reading in as well. So it's now Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock, 7:05 technically. I finished His and Hers yesterday, and I will give you more of my thoughts on that kind of once I process and when I have a chance to really sit and talk with you. But I gave that one 4 stars. I am currently reading Sleeping Giants. I got up to like 130 pages yesterday. I'm going to keep reading that today. I'm going to try and get a whole bunch of reading done today. And I will check in with you with my further thoughts of His and Hers, and hopefully with some more thoughts on Sleeping Giants. Hopefully I'll finish it today. Hey guys, so it is almost 5 o'clock. Like I said, I've been doing terrible at filming today, but I have finished Sleeping Giants, and I think I ended up giving that one like 3 stars. I was really intrigued, and it was really good, and I really enjoyed it. However, I feel like it went absolutely nowhere, and it was kind of confusing to follow at times, just keeping track of everything that's going on. I did a Spindle Splintered. This is by Alix Harrow. It is a novella that's like 119 pages or something like that. I'm like 4 chapters into it. So far it's fine. It's a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and she ends up getting like transported into another world. So far it's interesting, and it should be a quick read, obviously being as short as it is. And I will see what I think about it, because I did finish 10,000 Drawers of January by her, and I ended up giving that one I think like 4 stars. So I did enjoy that one, and I was curious to try something else by her. So we'll see how this goes, and I'll let you know what I think when I finish it. Happy Thursday. It is now Thursday, September 21st, and I am back with some final thoughts for my little library catch-up vlog. We have, out of the stack that I showed you guys, or that I was talking to you guys about, I have finished 3 books this week. The first one that I finished was His and Hers by Alice Feeney. This one is on my September TBR, and I finally got through it. I gave this one, I believe, 4 stars. It was good. It's not my favorite thriller. One of the main characters is Anna Andrews, and she is like the epitome of an unreliable narrator. She is an extremely depressed alcoholic who her life is kind of just fallen apart, really. She is depressed because her daughter died a couple years before. She's depressed from losing her daughter, and then her marriage fell apart, which is the other point of view, Jack. Their marriage fell apart, and they got divorced. And then she is the main announcer for the BBC News, and she gets demoted because the woman that originally had the job before her decided to come off of her 2-year maternity leave and come back to work. So she loses her job, she's lost her husband, she lost her baby, and her mother has progressing dementia that is getting worse and worse. So she just has a lot going on. And then on top of that, she is an alcoholic. She drinks all day long. She will drink wine. She will drink shooters, anything. So she is the epitome of an unreliable character. The other character is Jack, her ex-husband, and he is a police officer who moved from London back to the town where they grew up, to Blackdown, and is working down there. And he seems like he should be a more reliable character, but there's just something about him that you just can't trust. He is having an affair with a married woman. He is just kind of not going anywhere productively. And this is all about a woman being found dead in the woods that was murdered, and Jack is the one who goes to investigate this murder and finds out that not only is this woman the woman that he had actually been having an affair with, but it is somebody who has connections to both him and his wife from their childhood. So it's all about that investigation. One thing I will say, this book was good, but one thing I will say for it is that if you are concerned with any kind of trigger warnings, beware. This book has abuse. It talks about abuse. It talks about losing a child. It talks about depression. It talks about rape. So pretty much just about any trigger warning, you might want to look it up and kind of be prepared, because there are a lot of them in this book. So overall, I give this 4 stars. It was good, but just kind of got, at the end, it just seemed a little bit, far-fetched to me. But it wasn't bad. And I will probably talk about it again or a little bit more in my wrap-up at the end of the month. So the next book that I read this week was Sleeping Giants. I started this on Sunday night, and I kind of flew through it, really, because once I finished His and Hers, I went back to this one and read the last 200 pages in a day. This one is about a woman who, she goes out for a bike ride, she falls through a hole and lands in a giant hand, a robotic looking hand. And it's all about how 20 some odd years later, she is in a position as a scientist to be able to try and investigate what this hand is, what it's supposed to do, and just find out more about it and see what the heck is going on. And this one was really interesting. It's written as a series of interviews and journal entries. The interviews are with an unnamed character that you never find out who he actually is. He's some kind of official that has a lot of strings that he can pull, but that's all you really know about him. This book, I ended up giving it 3 stars. It was really interesting, and I was extremely curious about it, and I was very intrigued, but it really, really fell flat towards the end. The last 100 pages or so, where I really wanted it to pick up and get amazing, I feel like it really fell flat. It felt like You know, they had found everything. They had discovered a lot of things with this robot. And then it just kind of petered out. Like nothing else really happened. And I know this is part of a series, but the way that it left off at the very end, it didn't make me want to pick up the next one. I didn't like how it ended. I'm not intrigued enough to continue with the series. I thought it was a very good concept. I thought it was executed very well. It was very interesting, and it was a quick read. It just didn't quite do it for me, so I gave it 3 stars. Last book that I read yesterday and today is a Spindle, Splintered by Alix Harrow. This one is a novella that is 119 pages, and it is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. The main character in this book is Zinnia Gray, and she has a disease that basically will cause her lungs to stop being able to function. And from everything that she's told, she will not live past 21 years old. She doesn't have a whole lot of time left. It's just going to keep getting worse. And then on her 21st birthday, she has a party with her best friend of all time, and something happens that causes her to go into a fairy tale dimension. She finds herself in another version of Sleeping Beauty. And it's like the original fairy tale that you think of. It's the Sleeping Beauty, her name is Primrose. Sleeping Beauty on her 21st birthday will prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel, and she will go into a century-long sleep. So Zinnia figures that if she is not going to have a whole lot longer to live, then she may as well try and help someone else who is also going to have an unfortunate outcome in their life. And so it's all about how her and Primrose go on this adventure, basically, to try and break her curse. And I won't say anything more than that because this is a really short book. But this book was good. It wasn't as lyrical of writing as 10,000 Dwarves of January was. It wasn't as lyrical, but still the writing was really interesting. There are a ton of illustrations throughout this book. And it was a fun read. It was kind of a fun take on Sleeping Beauty. The very beginning of this, the very first chapter, it literally says, Sleeping Beauty is pretty much the worst fairy tale. Any way you slice it. It's aimless and immoral and feministic as shit. It's the fairy tale that feminist scholars cite when they want to talk about women's passivity in historical narratives. She literally sleeps through her own climax. As my favorite gender studies professor used to say, double entendre fully intended. So it was very different from what I expected, but it was interesting and it was fun to read. It's supposed to be, I believe, part of a new kind of series. Either way, I gave this, I think, 4 stars. It was good. It wasn't anything absolutely amazing. I'd be curious to maybe pick up another one, but I'm not going to go out of my way looking for it either. The characters were fun. I really liked kind of passive way of looking at things that she's like, well, this is the hand I was dealt, and I'm just going to try and just live with it and do what I can, and maybe I can have this one last adventure before I can't go on any more adventures. So this book was good. It was 4 stars. So overall, between the three books that I have finished this week, I gave 2 4 stars and a 3 star. So not too bad. I've got 3 books now that I can return to the library. Let me know, please, in the comments if you would like me to do another video like this. My library books can get kind of random, and it's kind of fun being able to just grab whatever comes up and see what I can finish within the week. I am going to be starting another vlog hopefully this afternoon or tomorrow. So please keep an eye out for that probably next week. And also I am getting things ready for my October TBR. So if you would like to see more from me, please like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any book recommendations, any thoughts for me, anything like that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.